Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us for a virtual information session this afternoon about the part-time Master of Social Work program at Washington University in St. Louis. My name is Sarah Lucan. I use she, her pronouns, and I am an Associate Director of Admissions and Recruitment for the Brown School at Washington University. And on behalf of the Brown School and the Office of Admissions, I just want to thank you for your interest in our part-time program. This session, as you know, is being recorded, and so if you need to leave at any moment, don't worry. It will be the recording will be posted later for you to go back and review. We have the chat obviously enabled, and this is a meeting format, and so we can see and hear our participants who are here for the live session. And if you need closed captions, those are available as well. I think those are all of the housekeeping things. And so I'm going to turn it to my colleague, Marcia Ford, to introduce herself and get us started with the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah, and welcome. My name is Marcia Ford, and my pronouns are she, her. I am a professor of practice and director of the Part-Time MSW program at the Brown School. Thank you for joining us today, and I'm excited that you are considering a career in social work. At the Brown School, our vision is to create a better and more equitable society by engaging multidisciplinary staff, students, and faculty, staff, and students in rigorous science, transformative education, and authentic partnerships. Our part-time program may be completed in as little as 3 years, which does include summer courses. Students may choose from 3 concentration areas of study: the mental health concentration, the social impact leadership concentration, or the children, youth, and families concentration. The mental health concentration prepares students who desire a clinical focus and prepares them to address mental health challenges in individuals as well as systems. The social impact leadership concentration prepares students to be leaders and drivers of social impact across a variety of sectors, both public and private. The children, youth, and family concentration helps students develop an understanding of how systems impact child development and family functioning. So a little bit about the history of the part-time program. It was conceptualized to meet the demands of working professionals. We believe we have developed a program that is accessible and maximizes the benefits of both in-person and remote-based learning methods. Our intent with this format is to allow a great deal of flexibility, hopefully helping you reach your career goals while you balance the demands of being a student with families and perhaps work or other life commitments. The program is based on a cohort model. This means that students with whom you enter the program will be your classmates as you progress through a sequenced curriculum. Classes meet in a variety of settings, as you can see on the slide. During the in-person courses, you will make connections with your fellow cohort members and benefit from the dynamic nature of in-person learning. Courses are also offered remotely, and for those classes, you will attend courses online synchronously or live with your classmates and your instructor. You may be asked to complete asynchronous content that is done independently via recorded lectures, designated readings, or some assignments. Additionally, the program takes advantage of intensive weekend learning formats, which means students meet over a series of weekends during the semester. The sequencing of classes for the part-time program allows students to take up to 8 credit hours each semester, and this includes summers. The classes that the part-time students take are the exact same courses that full-time students experience. Depending on the concentration you choose and the electives you register for, you may have classes that are filled with both colleagues from your part-time cohort as well as full-time students. So let's talk a little bit about field education. A cornerstone of social work education is field education or practicum. This is where students integrate classroom knowledge with real-world experience and acquire and demonstrate the skills and competencies that are fundamental to social work practice. In the foundation and concentration field experiences, the primary focus is putting the skills that you learn in your courses into practice at your practicum site. At the foundation level, you will complete 360 hours working at your field site. That's equivalent to 3 credit hours. At the concentration level, you will spend 600 hours working at your field site, and that is equivalent to 5 credit hours. For every credit hour of practicum, you will spend roughly 8 to 10 hours working at your practicum site during a given semester. So let's talk a little bit about the support that you will receive from day one at the Brown School. As a Brown School student, you will have a team of supporters guiding you through the MSW program. All of the programs and offices listed on this slide are located within the Brown School and are dedicated solely to serving MSW students. You will also have a team of advisors working to support you. We engage in holistic advising for all MSW students. This means that you will have 3 to 4 different advisors during your studies at the Brown School. Your academic advisor ensures that you're registered for classes you need and will provide information regarding academic support services and resources. Your faculty advisor will be a faculty member who is an expert in your chosen concentration of study. They will help connect your real world opportunities to your classroom experiences and advise you regarding your career goals. And then finally, you will be assigned a field education advisor to assist with your practicum search and field experience. In addition to the support you will receive from your advisors, the Center for Career Engagement works with all MSW students to provide support as students search for practicum placements or even real job opportunities. The center provides licensure workshops to students who are pursuing a clinical career as they prepare for their LCSW exams. Our Brown School graduates are leaders, change makers, and innovators. And these are just some of the examples of roles that students have taken post-graduation. Brown School alumni are a driving social change in a variety of settings and positions across the country. So I'm going to turn the program over to Sarah now, who will tell you a little bit more about the admissions process.
Thanks, Marcia. So when it comes to your application, just a few deadlines to keep in mind. Obviously, it is February 16th, and so we have already passed that December 1 early review deadline, but not to worry. We have another priority review deadline coming up on March 1, and then after March 1, we will continue accepting applications, and admission will be made based on availability, with our final deadline occurring on July 1st. For the application, we require a personal statement where you will share your experience, your goals, all of the things that you feel really make you a strong candidate for the MSW program and showcase your potential to do well at the Brown School and in the field. This is your opportunity to share your why. So we want to hear your story and what it is that brought you to wanting to apply to the MSW at this time. You will ask 2 references to submit letters of recommendation on your behalf, and those can come from professionals in the field. They can come from past supervisors, current employers, mentors. They can also come from past instructors or faculty who you worked with. We recognize that for some, especially if you're applying to the part-time program and are working and have been working for several years, you may not have those connections with your undergraduate instructors as you did in the past. And so if you would just like to ask 2 professional references to submit letters on your behalf, that's perfectly fine too. You'll also submit a resume or a CV. We don't really have a preference when it comes to the format. All we ask is that you share all of your experience with us. So submit the long resume. We want to see everything that you have done that you feel really showcases your experience level and your potential to do well in the program and in the field. You'll also submit transcripts. These can be unofficial transcripts. We won't need the official transcripts from your undergraduate institution until you have been admitted and decide to enroll at the Brown School. And then you'll need to send us those official transcripts directly from the institution. We need undergraduate transcripts from any institution where you received 6 or more credit hours. We'll also ask you to submit a video interview. This is an asynchronous interview that you'll complete in your own time and just gives us another opportunity to get to know you beyond what you've shared on paper. You can prepare for the interview similar to how you prepare for a job interview, and there are practice questions on the platform that we use. It's called Kira. So you can do as many practice questions as you'd like before starting the actual assessment to get used to the platform and the pace. They are timed questions, so I always recommend doing a few practice ones before you start. When you are ready to complete the full interview, it will take about 20 minutes to complete in its entirety, so just make sure you've got that much time set aside to complete it from start to finish. There's also a scholarship form that you'll complete. Everyone who is admitted to the program and would like to be considered for scholarship will be awarded scholarship from the Brown School. Most of our scholarship awards are partial tuition awards, and I'll talk a little bit about cost of attendance here in a moment. But that scholarship form will ask you a few questions about your interests, your affiliations, things that may make you eligible for specific types of scholarship. And then we'll also ask about your financial need and take those factors into consideration when determining the amount of scholarship you're eligible for. And then finally, there's an application fee of $50. So when it comes to funding your degree at the Brown School, first I want to go over the cost of attendance. So these numbers do reflect the cost of attendance for the 2024-2025 academic year. So if you're applying for this upcoming fall, these are the tuition numbers that you will be charged. It's $1,600 per credit hour, and part-time MSW students will take anywhere between 18 to 24 credit hours a year. So your total annual cost will be anywhere between $28,800 to $38,400. Each semester, you'll take at least 6 credit hours. That's 6 to 8 is about the number of credit hours. So for your first year, for example, your first semester, you can expect to spend $9,600 a semester for that first one. That first semester or the first year will incur the lowest tuition costs. And then as you progress through the program, you'll start to take more and more credit hours. And so tuition costs are going to reflect the increase of hours that you'll be taking. I mentioned, though, that you are eligible for scholarship support from the Brown School. And so any scholarship that you receive from the Brown School when you are admitted will be applied toward those tuition costs. So you can take your scholarship award, you'll divide it evenly across the 3 years that you'll be in the program, 3 to 3.5 years, depending on how you'd like to structure it. And then the award will be applied evenly to each semester. You'll be enrolled in, like Marcia said, a fall, spring, and a summer. So tuition or scholarship award money will be evenly applied across those semesters. There are other scholarship opportunities, though. As I mentioned, most scholarships from the Brown School are partial tuition awards, so most of our students fund their degree through a combination of sources. There are a variety of external organizations that award scholarships specifically to students seeking a degree in social work. And we have a database available through the Graduate Center that has a lot of these scholarship listings. So I'll share the link to that in the chat here in a moment. If you are a WashU employee, you may be eligible for tuition assistance. And so that is a benefit that you can look into. You'll want to speak directly with your employer and your HR department to kind of figure out what that would look like for you specifically. And then there are other means of getting funding support. Some students might want to apply for research assistantships, especially if research is something that you are interested in pursuing as part of your career. It's a great way to not only get some good experience, but also get some funding. They're paid hourly positions, so they do not come with a stipend or, tuition remission, but rather you get paid on an hourly basis for your work in those assistantships. And then you can also apply for federal loans and qualify for federal work study. And then any out-of-pocket expenses that may come along with the rest of the cost of attendance. So just a reminder again about those application deadlines. March 1 is our priority review deadline, and then we will continue to accept applications based on availability after that. And if you'd like to learn more and connect with us in other ways, there are a variety of ways that you can connect with us. We've got 10 minutes that we'll leave to answer questions now, but I just want to share these others platforms and places where you can get information. So with that, I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen so that we can see each other and open it up for questions.
Hello. You said you were going to share the link to the database for the scholarships.
Yes, thank you so much for reminding me. Here is that link.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's powered by the Graduate Center. I also just recommend checking out the Graduate Center. They're a really wonderful resource to our students. They've added a lot of new just supports over the last year, have really expanded. And so it's a great place for graduate students to just connect, meet grad students from across programs at WashU too. And yeah, just get a little more connected to the WashU community.
Gotcha. I just had one more question. You said everyone who is admitted to the Brown School will receive some sort of scholarship. Did I hear that correctly?
You did.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. As long as you fill out that scholarship consideration form, and it's within the application, so you should find it really easily and submit it at the same time that you submit your application materials.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
For the for the letters of recommendation, will our recommenders upload those letters directly to like a portal, or will we upload them? I wasn't sure the process would be on that.
Yeah. So the volume on your computer is a little low for me. And so I think I heard you though. And you asked if the letters of recommendation would need to be uploaded directly to the portal by the recommenders themselves. Yes. So within the application, you'll indicate who you would like to request letters of recommendation from. You'll input their name and email address, and then they'll be sent a link to their email address where they can directly upload that letter of recommendation to your application. There's also a place too where you can remind them too. So if perhaps you're still waiting for a letter of recommendation, you can log into your portal and send them a reminder. or you can change your recommender at any time if you need to ask somebody else. You can do all that through the portal.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I actually had another one, sorry.
No, apologize.
I actually just recently, I think 2 days ago, submitted my application. And I am supposed to wait for an email about the interview process, correct?
Right. Once we have processed all of your materials, you'll get access to your portal if you haven't already. If you can
Okay,
access your portal already, which you should be able to because you've created your account, you'll see a checklist, and
okay,
there should be a link there to where you can complete that video interview. If
okay,
it's not there or you haven't received any sort of notification from us, reach out and we'll see
okay,
what's going on, but it should be there in your checklist.
okay. Sounds good, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? I'm just out of curiosity, want to know which of the concentrations everyone is interested in.
And it's okay not to know
Yeah.
yet. You do have the entire first year to make a final decision on that. The first year is filled with your foundation level classes. So you'll get to hear a little bit more from advisors and other students and get a feel for that if you're not sure. Some people come in very decided. Some people are like, I'm not sure what I want to do.
Yeah.
I feel very decided, but I'm kind of going in with an open mind. But I applied for the social impact leadership concentration, specifically with the emphasis on sexual health and education. That's what I'm personally very passionate about. And yeah, I want to combine the sex education with the social impact leadership to whether that's working through a nonprofit or I currently work at a high school. So integrating that into the school I work at. Yeah, I have lots of ideas. Or potentially, I'm also interested kind of later down the line in my career of becoming a sex therapist. So I like that the social impact leadership concentration and the degree and program in general just gives me a lot of flexibility as to what I can do with it. So yeah, those are my ideas.
Excellent.
That's great. I don't know if you were able to join us a couple weeks ago. There was an open classroom featuring Susan Stieritz, who's the chair of the Sexual Health and Education Specialization. She gave a talk about, it was called Sex Chatting, and just tools for having conversations about sexual health at all life stages. And so
Yeah.
it was really informative. I can put the link to that if you didn't get a chance to see it.
Yeah, I would love to watch that.
Yeah. Anne, what about you? What are you interested in?
Is is the volume better
Now it is.
now?
Yep.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so sorry about the technical difficulties. I think I'm really drawn to the mental health concentration. So, but I think I don't have necessarily a direct path, so I think I would be one of those that would like to take a variety of courses in the first year to kind of figure out where I would want to go. But mental health and children, youth, and families are kind of the two that I'm more drawn to out of the three emphasis areas. So
And in those foundation level courses, you will get a taste of what each concentration is about, what the approaches are, an introductory, an introduction to it anyway.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Dr. Campbell, are you thinking about anything in particular at this point? Well,
Might
lots
have
of
stepped
time to
away.
discuss. Yeah, lots
Yeah.
of time to think about that and, get into your classes and see what resonates with you. Get a chance to meet the faculty advisors for those concentrations and talk with them a little bit about what that course of study would look like as well.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to share my screen again with our contact information. So if you've got any questions after this, feel free to reach out directly to Marcia or myself. We're very happy to continue the conversation and be a resource to you as you're kind of navigating just next steps. And again, we're really excited that you're interested in the part-time program. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you all
Thank
for
you, everyone.
hosting. Have a
All
nice
right.
weekend.
Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, you too.
All right. Thanks, Marcia.
Thanks, Sarah. Bye.
Bye.